Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Point Fighter Live. I'm Alex Reyes, and we're having a Friday daytime show. I hope everybody's having. Actually, it's morning, right? So it's morning, and I hope everybody's having a great morning. Happy Friday, and it's gonna be another great weekend for Point Fighter. We have like three tournaments this weekend, which we're gonna get into in a little bit. And today we're going to be talking to Jason Adams, and we're going to have Fred Bell as well. We're going to be talking about the Central Valley Open, which was last weekend in Fresno, California, and it was the beginning of it was the first tournament of the Triple Crown. Okay, it's a Triple Crown, 3 events that they're having, and out there in California, and the awards are awesome. This was the kickoff tournament, and the awards are awesome. The competition was great. They had you're going to see from the pictures and just from the news feeds, they had, a bunch of competitors there. It was awesome. It was a great tournament. And we're going to talk to Jason about it now and Fred. Okay, now before we get to that, this weekend, we have 3 awesome events. Oh, sorry about that. We got 3 awesome events. We got the first ever Pan American Championship, right? That's in Guatemala. It's the first tournament that's Point Fighter approved in Guatemala. Okay, so that's gonna be awesome. I have some members going over there. Like I know that there's a bunch of countries going. There's Guatemala, of course, in Mexico, Canada. A bunch of competitors from all over the world are gonna go, and this is a title itself. So look out for that one. Robbie Lavoie is gonna be doing a seminar there too. So if you're there, make sure you get that seminar. And we also got the KC Challenge and Waco USA Nationals. So Waco USA team is gonna, you're gonna earn a spot today if you're there. And they got NASCA divisions and Waco divisions. Okay, and then also going on this weekend, that's in Kansas City. We have the Memphis Open, and that's out there in Memphis. Cameron Dawson's doing a seminar at that event. It's gonna be great. Look out for trading cards at some of these tournaments too. We got Point Fighter official trading cards out there, and you just got to find them, okay? So thanks for tuning in. Power, yes, thank you for tuning in. Beth, thanks. There you go. Power, let us know where you're watching from too, and you're watching the recorded show or the live show. Thanks for tuning in. All right, well, let's get into the tournament. Let's get into the tournament now. It was a great tournament, like I said, the first of 3 of the Triple Crown. And let's just go over some pictures, and then we're going to bring the guest in, okay? That's our winner, Jason Adams. He won the overall there. He has that crown. That's that first crown, right? Let's see if he could get all 3 crowns, right? And how about that trophy, too? It was good. And the tournament looked like it was very organized as well. The matted rings, everything looked very professional. And, shout out to a great tournament. And what a great kickoff to the event. Let's just go through some of the pictures, and then we'll bring on some of the guests. I saw some pictures that I had found on Facebook, and that's the crown right there. Bob White was there. I think he got honored for an award as well. And just shout out to everybody that competed and won over there. Great job out there. So let me see. All right. Okay. So we're gonna bring in our guest. All right. As we're scrolling through the pictures. Okay. Right here, we're gonna bring them on now. Congratulations to everybody. As you can see, look at the matted rings. Everybody looks happy. A lot of teams there. The place is packed. Right. Congratulations to everybody. All right, so I'm gonna bring in Fred and Jason at the same time, okay? And we're gonna get to talk to them out there. They're out in California, and let's bring them on.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Point Fighter Live.
Morning.
It's nice to be here. It's first time having such a interview done for karate, at least, but it's going to be interesting.
Sir, yes, sir. Hey, Jason. So you won the overall at the tournament, and you were telling me you had like 3 to 4 fights, and you look great. I saw there's a video out there, and you know, you were looking smooth. You know, you were looking smooth out there. So congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Fred.
Yes, sir.
The tournament was it looked like a good success. But it was kind of like overwhelming. You were telling me it was overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah. It
was
was.
like
It was.
right?
We ran out of room. That's for sure.
Oh, you ran out of room. Well, that's a good
Yeah,
problem
yeah. It
to
was too
have.
crowded.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's a good problem to have. That shows, you know, and there's always room for improvement. You know, like now, you know, next time you guys need a bigger space, right?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It was good. You know, this young man that won overall, he also won grand in his kata division too. So
Wow.
Mhm.
yeah,
So he won.
he's a player. He actually won. I think was it like 3-4 years ago? You won grand when you were a little younger, I think too, at one of my tournaments, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. So
Or
yeah,
I think it was. I think it was at Anton's tournament.
no mine.
Or
I
was
have
it at yours? Okay. I forget. It's been a
yeah,
while.
Hey,
yeah.
Jason. So you know, you've been in karate for like about like you're only how old? You're 18. You're 17, 18 years old.
I'm 17, almost 18.
Almost 18. Nice. Wow. And
Yeah.
you're actually in school right now, right?
Yeah, I'm just in the cafeteria. There's no one else here. It's just me by
Okay.
myself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're young, and very talented. And you know, how long have you been doing martial arts for? When did you
I
start?
think it. I forget whether it was 2009 or 2010 I started. I've been going for like 9 or 10 years. It's just it kind of blurs after a while where you've just been going for so long that it's just it happens.
Hey, and
You just keep
you
going.
started competing. You started competing. I mean, Fred just said that he saw you a few years ago competing, and so you've been how long? How long did you start when you started competing? What belt were you? What rank and how old? About.
I mean, I went to my first tournament my first tournament was Dark City Nationals. I went when I was a white belt. It was like
White belt. Wow.
6 months or not even 6 months, but more like 6 weeks after I started. And it was just my first tournament. I competed as first timers, and it was just like a fun experience to just put my toes in the water. And then I kind of didn't compete for the rest of that year. And then I think the next year was like when I started competing a little bit more minorly. And then around year 2 is when I like really started competing more seriously.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. Hey, now there's a question for both of you. Just a topic that just popped into my head, and actually we talked about it a few weeks ago on my group. Like a good time to start competing. If you want to start competing, right, or you're an instructor and you want to get your kids to compete, like, you know, Jason started competing as a white belt. Do you have Fred? Do you have and Jason at your school? Do you guys have like? Can they compete right away? Do you like them to compete right away, or do you kind of maybe sometimes like to hold them till they get a few belts before they start competing? Or right away is good.
For us, if they want to do it, we do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's we had a lot of our first timers in there. Beginner kids. Even 4-year-olds competing. So yeah, we try to get them going right away. I know some schools will wait to hire belts. Or their comp team or something. But we like to get them in there if they want to compete. Let them do it. I think it's good for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the way to go. Now, one of the things that I was thinking about sometimes, if you start them out like a few belts in, 3 or 4 belts in, and then maybe they're like in the intermediate range already, right? Then it becomes harder for them for their first.
It does, yeah.
Right, because they didn't get that. They're missing that experience from
Exactly.
the beginner divisions, right?
Yeah, that's why that's why I like these first timer divisions that we do as well. Gives these kids the opportunity to get in there and not just get kind of like in our days when we were younger and just getting put into the lion's den a little bit,
Hey, that's true. The first timer division. Now you had it at your tournament the first time.
Oh yeah. That was the overwhelming problem we had. I think we probably had 115, 120 kids, just first timers alone. So
Wow,
the
no
rings were
way,
just
wow.
overwhelmed. Yeah.
That's great. Hey, but that's great. That's great. Hey, so Jason, now your school was there as well. Mike Guido, like he's pretty well known out there, and
Mhm.
you guys did well. You guys had a great tournament as well for as far as the team.
Yeah. Kind of going off of what your question was about, like when's a good time to compete.
Yeah,
Our school typically just we let people compete, but we prefer most of the like beginners typically are a little bit more shy and aren't really outgoing, and it's not until intermediate when they really start like wanting to compete and like
yeah,
be able to show them their skills. And we don't really try and push them at all. It's completely up to them.
yeah. That's
We
true.
do push a little bit when it's like a local tournament like this, since this was like an hour drive away for most of us. So
Yeah,
it was a good.
that's a good way to go about it. Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. Just kind of if they want to, it's there for them, right? And if they want to,
Absolutely.
it's up to them. Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. Because not everybody in the school, of course, is going to be a tournament competitor, right? But you guys are
Yeah.
open and you have it there open for when you. But some schools, they're like, no, you can't compete until this belt, or But it's for everybody. It's a good. That's a good strategy. It's up to them to
Oh
compete,
yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. Hey, and so going back to Guido's, right? You were telling me that you had a great. You guys earlier while we were talking before the show that you guys had a good amount of competitors in 12 to 14, right? Division that you guys did
Yes.
Yeah, I was
really good
overwhelmed.
at
Um.
that division. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was out there for a second, but I'm doing it in another place that I'm used to doing it at, and like I'm having a few technical difficulties, but everybody can hear me, right?
Yeah, no, we're
I'm back. Okay, all right, cool.
Yep.
So 14, right? You guys had a good amount. You guys had some success there. Now, when you told me that, I was thinking like, you know, a lot of schools competitors like a teen. That's like a teen group. Like a lot of.
Mhm.
Do you guys have a lot of teens at your school?
It's not our largest class, but it's as far as like our advanced ranks go for
Yeah.
like brown, red belts and up. It's it's our biggest class within that range. So that's
Yeah.
kind of why we had so many people in that range. And it's also where a lot of our competition team people, our regular
Yeah.
competitors are. So
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I asked you that because a lot of times, when schools, Fred, I don't know if this happens with you, like competitors from my school, most of them are kids, right? And then once they start getting into the teenage range, they kind of start slipping
oh
as
yeah,
far as like,
high school.
but
Yeah,
so
it's
so it
tough.
kind of got me in my like as soon as you said 12 to 14, you had a lot of wins there. I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. So how does the school do it from what you've seen? They have um you
Well,
know
yeah, it's one of our biggest groups in our school too, are teens.
it is,
Not
yeah.
necessarily competitive, but just students. And I don't know, what do you put it on? I mean, I think a lot of it, unfortunately, has to do with the bullying. Our middle school, high schools are so bad in the bullying department. So we get a
Yeah,
lot of
that
kids that
is
are just trying
true.
to deal with that.
That
You
is
know,
true. But
yeah.
also when you get into middle school, right, we have to compete with like the football team, the soccer
yeah.
teams, the
Well,
volleyball teams, and the wrestling teams. And like it's kind of like for me, it's kind of my smallest group in the school, pretty much. Like
yeah,
mostly
it's
kids,
true then.
but it's kind of hard to get the juniors to stick around and stay. But it looks like like you guys both are saying that you got pretty good stables. Now, what's the secret to that? Do you guys maybe have tips that you could give to keeping them juniors in there? It's just like do they have to have their friends there? Is that what you see that they have a kind of a group that they click together with, and how
Well, yeah. I
that's
mean,
work?
I think all martial artists are kind of like minded, though, aren't they? So I mean, a lot of those kids just become friends with themselves.
Yeah, that
So
is true. That is
yeah,
true. They become long time friends. How about you,
yeah.
Jason?
I think what a lot of our school success with, especially within like student retention, is that we just put a lot of emphasis on just keeping a positive attitude, a positive atmosphere, just this overwhelming optimistic energy around. And that just it creates this cohesion and it creates this family like bond that just helps everyone like stay together.
Right.
And of course you always get like a few people like we had a black belt who had just got our black belt, was in middle school while she got it and then moved into high school, and she's like, I want to go do cheer. And we respect her and we love her for it. She can go do it. We are a little bit disappointed because she did move away. Well, not move away, but did stop training with us. But at the end of the day, it's their choice. And if they want to go do it, we'll support them and we help them and with whatever we can. We had another girl who got her black belt, and she will decide, you know, I love karate, I love doing this, but I want to shift my focus from being karate and point sparring and that type of competition to MMA. So
Yeah.
she went to Halo and she's doing well there. I believe she competed this week in the kickboxing ring.
She's really good
Leslie
too.
Villa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good. That's
I
pretty
was competing unfortunately during that, so I didn't get to see. But
I didn't see any of it. I just see video.
uh,
It's hard to see any of it as you're promoting. You're a
Hey,
promoter.
Yeah.
so you're young, you're only 17, you're gonna be 18 soon, and
Mhm.
you wanna is this the first time you win an adult overall at the tournament, or you've won?
So-
one before?
a little bit of history. The last 3 years, I haven't competed.
Okay.
For
All right, so it was your
mostly
first
for personal
round.
reasons, just because I got tired of doing all the traveling because we
Yeah.
mostly traveled by car, so long hours of travel. It was also due to like right after I got my black belt, I got a pretty nasty concussion because while you're used to fighting real people, it's hard to fight inanimate objects, and I slipped in the shower and hit the back of my head.
No way. So
And
it
that
didn't happen while you're fighting, right?
nope.
Oh,
No,
Nope. The only like major injury I ever got while fighting was one tournament. We didn't have mats. I threw my leg up to do a kick, and
Slip.
from that, my foot underneath slipped out, and you just see my hip just drop onto the floor, and it tweaked my back.
Yeah, that's
And that-
painful. That's painful right there. Hey, so
Yeah.
you started out the year pretty good. You
Mhm.
got one crown at the tournament. Are you gonna try to complete the cycle? Or are you gonna try to get the triple crown?
If Renshi is going to have us go, then I'll go ahead and join along. I mean, I might as well. It's the last year that I'm really feasibly going to do it, be able to do it for the next like 4 years, since I'll probably be moving away for college and such. So it's just going to be taking advantage of these like last few months of real freedom before
Right before it gets crazy.
I have to go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now talking about that, I was gonna bring up. Do you have any sport karate goals? Like, let's say you're in college, right? Would you look for a place to train with? Like, let's say if you're looking to move to another state or something, would you kind of look for a place that does point fighting? Because I know sometimes, especially you've been with at the school for 10 years. You don't sometimes students, like I have students that have been with me for years, and then they move somewhere else, and I'm like, train, and they're like, oh no, I only want to train with you, right? Like they have that mentality that if it's not with me, then they just don't want to do it, but they do want to do it, but what's your mindset? Do you want to do it in the future, or like when you move to college, or do you don't see yourself doing it as far
So a lot of what I plan to do on college is going to be, instead of just like, oh, I'm going to focus on point sparring, or I'm going to focus on like staying with Shotokan. I'm not really interested too much in that. I want to expand. I want to start looking at like some jujitsu, some judo, like maybe look at kendo. I have various styles that I just want to look and expand to and try and grab little things here and there, grab principles, grab a few techniques for practical uses, and just see where I can grab certain things. Because one of the biggest things at our school is that we try to be martial artists and not partial artists. We don't want to just be one thing. That's why, like, I compete in kata, weapons, and sparring. As I want to have that complete experience. I want to have that complete involvement.
So your goal is not to try to become a national champion or like make it on a sponsored team or become like big in the sport. It's just like you want to just get into like the other arts and stuff like that, right?
I just want to be able to experience all the facets that comes with martial arts and experience everything that it has to offer and all the different styles and see like the culture that's within each style.
Right. That's great, man. Hey, that's awesome to hear. And looking at the video of your fight, you got a lot of talent. And, I'd like personally to see you continue doing it when you move, and you never know where you could get. Maybe you could become a top guy in the sport in the future. You never know, right? Let's see, but it's all up to you and your goals, and it's your personal goals. But I see the talent in you. But thanks for joining us, man. All right, it was great to have you, and keep doing your thing, and congratulations as well. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yay, Fred. So, he's got a good head on his shoulders. Now
he is a smart kid. He's schoolbound. Yeah.
Hey, and talented, like you said, weapons and fighting. So that's awesome. Hey, so you have a few more events. The next event is the Napa Valley event, right? That's the next.
Yeah, that one's May 11th. Up in I think that one there. That one I think it's May 11th. Up in Napa.
And then you had sent me the picture of the flyer of the other event as well. It's the fall one, the Central Valley fall event, right?
Yeah.
I just have this right here, and that one's in September, right?
October
26th.
So we'll still get the location on that one. We were gonna thought about going back to the same high school, but man, it just gets too crowded.
Yeah. Hey, so what was the feedback from the event?
I mean, it's been mostly positive. We said we had some delays, just getting things kind of going. Like I said, our first timer rings were just overwhelming, so really backed us up. We had divisions of 33, 34 kids. And it was really cool. You're talking, it was a really cool age because it was all like 9 to 11-year-olds. We had like 33 first timers, which is a good sign, I think, for our systems, the martial arts in itself. We've got a lot of kids out there wanting to do this, But again, I think a lot of it, like I said, it's very competitive here with soccer, baseball. We have certain districts they require, like in high school, they require kids to do a sport. You have to do a sport or some activity. So it's really hard for us to get those kids into martial arts because we have to compete with the high school.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
They won't use the martial arts on the outside as their curriculum. They have to do something inside the school district. So, but again, I think a lot of it, unfortunately, is the bullying. We have such a huge epidemic here in the Fresno area. So, yeah, we get a lot of kids. It's sad because right when school starts in August here. Within 2 weeks, we get overwhelmed with kids.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's not a good thing. It's just what it is. We can almost predict what's going to happen with all our middle school classes because they just get overwhelmed.
And competitions are always great because it's different people that you're you get at school. At your karate school, they're your buddies, and you're learning the self-defense. But also, when you go into a tournament, it's somebody different, somebody new. You don't know their style, and it becomes a competition. So that gets you out there ready. That's one of the benefits that I like from it too, along with a bunch of other benefits from competing. Hey, but the tournament, looked like a success. It looked like it was packed in there, like you said. It was packed in there, and that's a great thing. And it looks like you got something good going with the Triple Crown, and the next one is in May. It looks like it's gonna be awesome. and it's Point Fighter approved. We're gonna be talking about it even more and more. Anything else that you want to talk about the tournament? Any highlights of the event or anything that you want to bring up? Just a shout out to
No, I mean
anybody.
we definitely we had some great fighters out there. There was and I was going to send you some footage of one of the teenagers that fought as well. One of our girls. She's a local. She wins everywhere. So she's going to be up and coming. You can see it, and she's from a local school not too far from here,
Yeah,
so
man, that's awesome. And California has so much talent. Like you got
yeah, well, I mean,
Daniels is out there.
where do you think Raymond, felt, a lot of the, Southern, all SoCal guys, I think if any of them were affiliated with Bob White,
Bob
they're
White
great,
has so many good fighters. Palmero, right? Jackson
yeah.
there. I mean,
Al
Jack,
Felton, Raymond spent a lot of time on Bob White's mat,
yeah, man, it's
so
crazy the talent and like they've transitioned to full contact as well. So I love point fighting, and just it's I love the effect that it's its influence. You could see its influence in so many sports now, like taekwondo, right? The
yeah,
Olympic taekwondo looks like point fighting from the 90s,
yeah,
right? When
definitely,
they pump, like they're pumping their leg. It doesn't look like the old school. And then even the WKF style fighting, like the traditional, they're bouncing. They're kind of looking like they're blitzing, and
sure.
then right, it's crazy like how you're seeing the point fighters, open sport karate influence, even in MMA.
UFC, yeah. I mean, look at some of the top guys out there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if somebody wanted to fight in MMA, that's a point fighter. Of course they got to
Hey,
do their jujitsu and their wrestling and their Muay Thai for their legs. But that in and out, we're outside the outside fighting of point fighters and the speed and the timing. It's like,
uh,
it's great. Like I even been working with some MMA fighters out here going into their school and training. And I think you seeing that more and more in all parts of the country. Raymond worked with GSP. Stephen Thompson, Wonder Boys is fighting awesome.
yeah.
Sage Northcutt is another point fighter that's had success. And, Tyron Woodley is a UFC champion, and he hired Avery Plowden, another point fighter. So it's opening a new world. And Joe Rogan's always talking about point fighters doing great. But so it's great. It's a great it's a great sport, and it's great to see that it's doing well in Fresno. Hey, so before we end the show, Napa Valley, it's gonna be maybe in the same area. It's gonna be in the same area. I'm not sure about the location, right? But
Well, Napa is an American Canyon High School.
oh, okay. So
That's
you
one in
have
Napa. So that's above, that's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours above us.
yeah.
The
Okay.
one in October will be pretty much in the same high school.
Okay. So the Napa Valley Junior Classic in May, it already has its location, and it's like a few hours.
American Canyon High School, put on by the Corpus family.
Awesome. Yeah, and talking about the Corpus family, rest in peace to
Jerry Corpus, yeah, Grandmaster Jerry Corpus,
yeah.
legend. And then you hear about this guy, and I mean he beat some of the. I mean he beat guys like Johnny Gyro. I mean he beat Muhammad. Some of these guys, the legends from our, that we think of as legends. When he was a young man beating these guys in Frisco and stuff. So yeah, shout outs to family. We love them to death, man. They're part of our Ohana. So we're definitely, we're going to celebrate his life, but still deal with
man.
all that pain. But,
Yeah,
definitely,
man. Prayers to the family, and
absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
And like you said, a local legend out there. Hey, thanks for joining us. We're gonna try to bring on. We're gonna have another interview for the tournament as well, right? On Monday. Possibly.
Monday.
What's her name? It's a girl, right?
It's Alejandra.
Mm-hmm.
She's up from Tulare School of Martial Arts. Amazing girl, man. She pretty much wins any you put in front of her. She'll beat them. She's pretty good. Taekwondo base, but she's got those hands. She's kind of figured it out, and that school does though. They do a lot of kickboxing and stuff too. So
yeah,
they mix it together. So she's definitely one to watch in the future, man. She's gonna come hard.
That's awesome, man.
That's
great. That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to Monday. Hey, have a good weekend, and
yes, sir.
I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
You too, sir. Take care.
Okay. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Point Fighter Live. Look out for notifications. Make sure you click on the notifications. We are gonna have live streaming at a few events this weekend. We're in Guatemala, we are in Kansas City, and Memphis. Okay, look out for the trading cards that we have, and more shows, more topics. Thanks for joining us. Point Fighter Live, baby. Power. I'll see you in the next one.